Hello everybody, so today I will talk about calculus. The topic today is about integration. So now I will show you how to answer. About the question number 1, we can write into like this. That is about x minus 1 to the power of negative 1 over 2 dx. Because the square root is about 1 over 2, if we want to put into numerator, we need to have the negative on the power. Now we have the formula in here. The integration of this one, we have ax plus b to the power of c plus 1 over a multiplied by c plus 1, and we put about capital C, that's about the constant. Now we can apply the formula for this one in here, and you got about x minus 1 to the power of negative 1 over 2 plus 1 over negative 1 over 2 plus 1, and we put the bounds from number 1 to number 3. So you got about x minus 1 to the power of 1 over 2 over 1 over 2, and we put the bounds from number 1 to number 3. Now we put number 3 gone here, number 1 gone here. So you got about 3 minus 1 to the power of 1 over 2 over 1 over 2 minus 1 minus 1 to the power of 1 over 2 over 1 over 2. So this one you got about 0. 3 minus 1 you got about number 2. So we have number 2 with the square root of number 2. And this is the answer for question number 1. Now let's go to question number 2. About cosine x squared, we have the formula in here. That is about cosine x squared equal to cosine 2x plus 1 over number 2. Now we need to transform cosine x squared into this one. So I will put number 2 gone here. This is about cosine 2x plus 1. And we have the x. Now, the integration of cosine 2x, we will have about 1 over 2 sine 2x. Number 1, that is about x, and we put the bounds from 0 to b over 4. And now I will put b over 4 gone here, number 0 gone here, and we got the final answer. Number 2 with 0, you got about 0. This one you got about 0. So this one in here, if we calculate, this is equal to number 0. Now if we calculate about this one, we have 1 over 2 multiplied by 1 over 2 and b over 4. And this is the answer for question number 2. Now let's go to this one. The formula, the integration of s to the power of n dx, we have s to the power of n plus 1 over n plus 1, and we put about c. Now we apply the formula for this one and this one. So we have s to the power of 4 over 4, because number 3 plus 1 you got about 4. Similar for this one. And this is the final answer for question number 3. Now let's go to question number 4. We need to use about integration by substitution. So I will put about u equal to 5x minus 4. If I do first derivative for the both sides, you got about the u equal to 5 dx. Because first derivative of s you got about 1. That's why you got about 5 dx. This one we change by u, so you got about u in here. 5 dx we change by the u. The integration of this one, we have ln of the absolute value of u, and we put about c. About u, that's about 5x minus 4. Now, this one, we just apply the same formula for the first one in here. So, for the constant, you got about w. For this one, we have w squared over 2, and we put about c. And now, this one you got about 7 over 8 w squared plus c. Now, for the next one, we need to use about integration by substitution. So I will put about u equal to sin s plus 5. Now if I do first derivative for the both sides, you got about cosine s ds. First derivative of sin s, you got about cosine s. This one we change by u. Cosine s ds we change by du. Let's see from here. And this one we have ln of the absolute value of u. And we put about c. About u, that's about sin s plus 5. And this is the final answer. Question number 7. We can use about u equal to 4x minus 1. That's about integration by substitution. You got about the u equal to 4 dx. But we don't have number 4 in here, so we need to divide both sides by number 4. For x minus 1, we change by u. Ds we change by this one. The integration of this one, you got about e to the power of u plus c. About u, that is about 4x minus 1. And this is the answer for question number 7. The last one, we will use the same technique. That is about u equal to 1 plus s to the power of 4. If we do first derivative for the both sides, s to the power of 4, you got about 4s to the power of 3 ds. Because we don't have number 4, we divide both sides by number 4. So this one, we change by u. S to the power of 3 ds, we change by the u over number 4. The integration of this one, we have ln of the absolute value of u, and we put about c. that is about this one. But x to the power of 4 always provide a positive number, so you can cancel the absolute value in here. And this is the final answer. This is the end. Thank you for watching.